It is a very warm day today. I have been out in the sun enjoying it, but I need to get going on some food prep stuff. I was gone for a week and I tried to like use up stuff in the fridge before I left, so stuff didn't just sit there and go bad. And so we were running low on stuff. Then I was gone for a week, and now I need to get back on the horse with making food at home. Eating out has been fun, but it's very expensive and we cannot maintain such things. So I went to the store and just picked up a few things. I still have a lot in my freezer that I need to work through. We did kind of a no spend April or a low spend April, and we're trying to keep going in May and just buy the bare minimum so that we can get through and just use up stuff we have in the freezer. We do have a lot of stock in the freezer and in the pantry, so we have stuff to work with, but sometimes like the perishable stuff we just have to replenish, like milk and cheese and things like that. So anyways, at the store, I got a really good deal on chickens. Let me show you. They had an in-store special of 97 cents a pound on whole chickens, and that's about as cheap as I find it. Occasionally, I'll get it for a little cheaper than that 97 cents, but that's extremely rare. So when I see it 97 cents, I usually pick it up. And I don't cook a whole lot of whole chickens. We just prefer other methods of cooking where they're cut up. So since I got my new freezers, I told you in a video a while back about my new freezer resolution, where I'm not just going to throw things into the freezer in the store packages anymore. I'm going to work hard to process the stuff after I get it home, and then vacuum seal it into whatever, portions make sense, and then put those in the freezer. So they'll last longer and they'll just be easier to use when it is time to use them. So I am going to start processing these, getting them all cut up. I will show you how I do that and then what I end up with. I also got these chicken breasts. They're enormous, and I would really prefer to be able to get like pasture raised chickens, but they're like 5 times as expensive as the regular chicken in the store, which makes me sad. So we are still doing the conventional. One day maybe we will have our own meat chickens, and we will be able to like grow enough for the year and process them and not have to buy store chickens anymore. But until then, or until we win the lottery, we'll be buying conventional chickens. These chicken breasts were on sale for $1.97, which again is about as cheap as I ever see chicken breasts. So I got the 5 pounds. It was a 5 pound limit. So that's what I got. And these ones, I'm thinking I might pound them thin and maybe cut them so they're more like chicken strip size. And then they'll be easy to bread and make into chicken strips when the time comes. First, I got to get all the giblets out. Who knows how many of each thing are in here. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Oh, we got a heart, liver, and a gizzard. Oh, yeah. One of each again. Oh, got 2 hearts in this one. How exciting. And a liver, and I think no gizzard. All right, my biggest tip for cutting up whole chickens is having a very sharp knife. This is a Benchmade knife that is made locally to me, not affiliated. I just absolutely love it. Very expensive, but very, very nice. So I'm going to just start by cutting off all the drumsticks, thighs, and wings of all 4 chickens. Okay, I have all the drumsticks and thighs and wings removed, and this is my bowl. Well, these livers will probably get cooked up and go to the dogs. I always aspire to eat them, and then I just can't do it. I try. And then the rest of this, the wing tips and the necks, and then the bones that I get from the carcass are gonna go into the freezer for bone broth. So for the breast and the back, I'm just gonna cut these down the middle so they're separated, and then I am going to actually, before I do that, I'm going to take the skin off because I'm going to use the skin for chicken skin crisps because I prefer the boneless, skinless chicken thighs for like making into nuggets or chicken strips or things like that. So I don't need the skin on. So skin's going to come off. I'm going to cut these down the middle, and then I'm going to take the breasts off of the bone. So I have 8 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I have 8 chicken thighs, 8 drumsticks, 8 chicken tenderloins. I have 16 wing pieces. And then I have the hearts and gizzards over here that I will fry up for myself. And then I have in here all of the bones for the bone broth. And then the livers are under there for the dogs. And then the next thing I'm going to do is work on these chicken thighs. I prefer boneless, skinless chicken thighs typically for the recipes that I do. So I'm going to take the skin off, save that for chicken skin crisps, and then I'm going to cut out the bones, and the bones will go into the bone broth bucket. And then I think I will be ready to start. Well, actually, I might chop up some of these chicken breasts. I'll either flatten them and slice them so they're more like chicken strip size. We'll see, but let's start with the chicken thighs. All right, I got all of the chicken breasts taken care of, including the ones from the package. So I have a whole bunch of chunks here that will be either for stir fry or for chicken nuggets. I have these all cut into chicken strip-ish pieces, as well as the tenderloins over here. I think I'm gonna put all of those and the tenderloins into the fridge and actually bread them tomorrow and try to make some freezer chicken strips. I've done that before with, non-keto breading, and it works great. But I'm going to try it with my new keto carnivore breading and see how that works out. I expect it will work out fine. And now I'm ready to just start vacuum packing everything. Everything is done for now. I will be working on the chicken strips tomorrow. I'll probably work on this tomorrow, so it's going in the fridge. This is all the chicken skin, the livers, and the hearts and gizzards. Probably when I bread the chicken strips, I will also bread the gizzards and the hearts, and I will enjoy those. I did these 3 bags of chicken breast chunks. They're 2 pounds each, and this is what was left over, so I'm going to throw this in the fridge. I may just bread these as nuggets when I do those, or if I have any other brilliant idea, I might use this for a different recipe. So then I have my 8 drumsticks here, 8 boneless, skinless chicken thighs here, 16 wings, so that's like 3 good meals there, 3 more good meals here. About 2 pounds of chicken breast chunks is what I need to, you know, cook a good dinner for my family. I didn't vacuum pack the bones for bone broth. Now, there is meat on the backs, and some people like to cook those and eat them just, you know, like a piece of chicken. I just don't find it's worth it to spend that much time on it. So I just put the backs in with the bone broth. And oftentimes after I make my bone broth, I will pick off the meat and either feed it to the dogs or put it in a soup or something. So it won't go to waste. But this, I like to keep these in Ziploc bags. And so I can add to it, or I can take just a few out if I don't need the whole bag. And I think that is it. I'm going to get this, get all that in the freezer, get that in the freezer here in the kitchen, get these all in the fridge, and I am done for the evening. Oh, and I just want to mention one more time that all of this cost me about $30, less than $30. Each of the 4 chickens were about $5 a piece. Actually, one was $3 and something. Anyways, they were all about $4 to $5 a piece. So I'm estimating $20 there. And then the one package of the giant chicken breasts was $9.75. So I'm saying less than $30 for all of this chicken. It's the next day now, and I'm getting ready to bread those chicken strips. I need to go get them out of the fridge downstairs. But first I need to actually whip up some more of my bulk protein breading. I do have a video and a recipe, like a printable recipe for just like the bulk breading. Oh, you're fine. And so I'm gonna need more than this, I'm sure. This one I mixed up with half whole egg powder and half egg white powder. I think this next batch I'm just gonna do egg white powder just as like the base recipe, and but it'll mix with this, so it will have a little bit of the whole egg powder as well. All right, so I made my recipe based on a 12-ounce container of pork rinds, so you can just dump in the whole 12-ounce container, and then it was 3 cups of egg white powder, or whole egg powder works, or a mixture of both, and then 6 tablespoons of gelatin, which is 60 grams. So I just measure out 60 grams. The kids are playing outside, and the dogs think it is terribly unfair that anyone should be outside and not invite them. I have my Now brand egg white powder. I did a video not terribly long ago about best places to get egg white powder currently as far as price goes, and it's Now brand on Amazon is a good price, as well as the Roseacre Farms. I secured a good deal for you guys. I have to look. I don't know if the 5-pound is in stock again, but the 5-pound and the 10-pound you can get with a discount, and it's the cheapest. I think the 10-pound is the cheapest per ounce you can get that I have found, at least in my area. So there's 80 grams to a pound, so, or I mean, sorry, 80 grams to a cup, and that means 240 grams. 8, 16, 24, yeah, 3 cups, 240 grams. I like these containers. I got this one from Target. You can also get big packages of these containers at Costco, but I like them for this because they have a very wide opening, so it's easier to mix in just in the container. I don't have to mix it in a bowl separately, although this might still be a little bit tricky. All right, now I'm gonna just try to shake it, see how it goes. All right, that looks pretty good. Ready to start breading. For my chicken tenders, I'm just gonna mix them up with an egg and a little bit of cream and then toss them in the breading. And this breading doesn't have seasoning yet. It does have salt, so I'm gonna add some seasoning, probably Pork King Good ranch seasoning. I like that one a lot. Fastest way to do this is just to get your hands dirty. I have a video of making freezer chicken strips. I think they were freezer, maybe they were just chicken strips, with Charity when she was, I don't know, maybe 3. And we were at this part with the raw chicken, and she said that the chicken pieces looked like squirms. She meant squids, but she couldn't think of the word, so she said squirms. And so now every time we have raw chicken tenders, we call them squirms. It's always hard to know how much breading you're gonna need, and you always either don't have enough or have some left over. So you can make hush puppies with the leftover, or you can make some onion rings real fast. If you have an onion you can cut up. I'm not gonna measure the ranch seasoning, just gonna kind of put it in, eyeball it. All right, I'm gonna put my finished chicken strips in here before I vacuum seal them. And when I'm doing freezer chicken strips, I always like sprinkle some breading in wherever I'm gonna lay the chicken strips. Since they're gonna sit for a minute, they might soak through the breading that's on them, and I want an extra layer of breading so it doesn't just get gooey on the bottom. And now the monotonous job of just one by one coating all of the chicken strips in breading. All right, I'm gonna start vacuum sealing these. I'm not sure how many will fit into here very well. If you don't have a vacuum sealer or don't want to go to the trouble of vacuum sealing them, what I used to do before I had a vacuum sealer is I used to put them on like a parchment paper lined pan and freeze them so they were all individually frozen, and then after they were completely frozen, I would take them off and put them into a freezer Ziploc bag so that it was easy just to take 1 or 2 out when I needed to cook them. Let's see, I guess I wanted 6 in here, so I'd make like 2 decent meals. Good enough. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, I have 4 packs ready to go into the freezer, and the rest of the chicken strips that were in the container, there's just a few left. I will cook those up for dinner tonight. I love the beautiful weather we're having because I get to look out. See this? Renee is drawing a picture of cedar. Charity is reading, and Talia is up in the tree. Levi fell asleep downstairs. I went ahead and breaded those the leftover chunks of chicken that I had, so we'll have some chicken nuggets and a few chicken tenders for dinner. This is the hearts and gizzards. I kind of chopped them, like cut the hearts in half. A whole chicken heart, even when it's breaded, is a little much for me to just chomp on. And same with the gizzards. I cut them into little nuggets, little popcorn hearts and popcorn gizzards. So I'm going to air fry these up right now, and then they'll be ready when everyone's hungry for dinner. I do spray these with a little bit of avocado oil, and then they cook super fast. Probably like 6 or 7 minutes is all they need. And when they're this tiny, I don't even flip them or anything. We'll do 7 minutes. I decided to do something a little different with my chicken skins since I have a whole bunch and I didn't want to do a bunch of batches in the air fryer. I'm going to try them in the dehydrator, so maybe they'll be more like the Carnivore Crisp chicken skins. I'll probably dehydrate them on a higher temperature, and of course I will season them, probably with Redmond seasoned salt. That tends to be my favorite on the chicken skins. I do like to take off as many like globby fat pieces as I can. That's not as pleasant as the nice crispy skin. All right, I forget how high my dehydrator goes. Let's see. Oh, 165. We'll do it at 165. Time, put it up to 8 hours and just, I'll let you know how much it ends up being. Most of the chicken nuggets and chicken strips have been eaten. The rest of them I'm sure will be eaten very soon. This video kind of just turned into a chicken prep video, which is fine. The last thing that's going is the chicken skins in the dehydrator. And I'll just put here at the end how much it ended up being, 165 degrees, and how long it took to get to a good crispy state. But besides that, I'll go ahead and leave this video here. I'm very happy with how much prep I got done, even though it was just chicken. I love having those packs of food, either the, you know, just pieces of meat that are just ready to defrost and cook, or the chicken strips ready to defrost and throw in the air fryer. Love having those on hand. Just makes mealtime so much easier than having, you know, a frozen whole chicken in the freezer. It takes a long time to defrost, and like I said, we don't typically do a lot of whole chickens. They're fine. We do them sometimes, but we do enjoy like the pieces of chicken better. So feel good and prepared and happy with the prep for the week. So these ended up going for like 16 hours, mostly because after 8 hours, are you trying to take some? I'm gonna have some. Mostly because after 8 hours, yeah, they're still a little warm. They were still a little bit bendy, and so I started them again for another 8 hours and then forgot about them. So they went the whole 16 hours and then sat overnight. But I think they're done. And they're pretty crispy. So yeah, they took longer than I expected, 16 hours, but it was pretty hands off, so no big deal.